Oh, right. Yeah, this just popped up. We haven't done anything on Lucy Letby for ages, but it's been kind of quiet. But I think this is kind of what I was saying before. And I've got hair in my mouth. Yeah, this is what I was kind of saying. If she got arrested, how come other people didn't get arrested? But it seems like they are now. Like it said, I think three of her bosses have been arrested. So yeah, let's see what this is saying. Let's go.
The Countess of Chester Hospital again at the centre of bleak investigations over the deaths of babies in their care. Cheshire Police say yesterday 3 people who were senior leaders here 10 years ago were arrested. In a statement, the force said 3 individuals who were part of the senior leadership team at the Countess of Chester Hospital in 2015 to 2016 were arrested on suspicion of gross negligence manslaughter. All 3 have subsequently been bailed pending further inquiries.
Hello, Lucy, is it? Yes. Hello, my name.
Former neonatal nurse Lucy Letby is currently serving 15 whole-life orders for the murders of 7 babies and the attempted murders of 7 others. Detectives say the latest arrests don't impact her conviction. One of the doctors who helped catch Letby told ITV News in 2023 he'd repeatedly raised concerns with hospital bosses.
I think throughout this whole process, there have been opportunities for those people who are at the top of the Countess of Chester to be able to put their hands up and admit that they got it wrong.
It was only in March this year that the police investigation into corporate manslaughter was widened to gross negligence manslaughter.
The breach has to be very gross, really severe, basically demonstrating a significant disregard for human life. So an act of carelessness or negligence, simple negligence we call it, isn't sufficient. And within the healthcare arena, it is quite rare because the legal threshold, the bar, is very, very high.
The final report from the inquiry into events at the Countess of Chester Hospital is due to be published early next year. And while that and the police investigations are ongoing, the hospital said today that it would not be appropriate to comment further. Faye Barker, ITV News.
Our UK editor Paul Brand has been following the case and joins me now. As Faye was just mentioning there, this is one development at a time when there's ongoing investigations after the deaths of these 7 babies.
Yeah, Lucy Letby was convicted by 2 separate juries, but there has been increased speculation, questioning about those convictions in the public domain over the past year or so, particularly. And what we're seeing here, the reason why this story is becoming so complicated is essentially each side in this argument over whether or not she killed those babies is pursuing a different avenue here. So on the one hand, you've got the police who are convinced those convictions are safe, continuing their process of now looking into whether hospital bosses did enough to stop Lucy Letby. That's why we've got this investigation into corporate manslaughter and gross negligence manslaughter. And they're also looking at whether Lucy Letby harmed other babies, including at Liverpool Women's Hospital. Plus, on top of that, as you heard in Faye's report, we've got this inquiry that's not due to report back until next year, looking at very similar things, essentially. But then on the flip side, you've got Lucy Letby's lawyer, her family, a growing number of MPs and clinicians who believe the evidence behind all of this is not sufficient to have convicted Lucy Letby, and they are going to the Criminal Cases Review Commission. They've put a file of evidence into that commission already, arguing that her convictions should be sent back to the Court of Appeal for them to potentially overturn them. So this is a really complicated picture now. None of this is going to resolve itself very quickly. There's going to be months and months and months more speculation about all of this and a growing public fascination, I suppose, with Lucy Letby's case.
I think that fascination has been there, well, one from the start, but the mood definitely changed towards her. I mean, at the start, it was everyone was against her, but the mood has definitely changed. But yeah, what they said about the boss is that they have to. I don't know whether it is in ours, but it was an American lawyer. I said it that crimes in a court, it works on your intent above and beyond the action itself. Yeah, he explains it better. He's a lawyer, but there has to be kind of and knowing and understanding that these people was deliberately looking the other way while she's killing babies. You'd have to prove that. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. And I'm very surprised, actually, because it never seems to be the bosses that ever get called in on anything. Like, it does seem to be that when this sort of thing happens in the police or in anything, that it gets kind of covered up by other higher ups and what have you. But I was kind of actually shocked that it said 3 of her bosses have been arrested for negligence. And maybe if that other doctor, the one that kind of called her out in the first place, if he was raising concerns and that's what I mean. It's such a complicated thing. And yeah, definitely what they said at the end is the people are fascinated by it. One, because it's such a horrendous crime. If um, but also the details around it, and like I heard something with the notes that was a big thing. I'm a murderer. I killed them. Everyone hates me because I kill baby, or whatever she wrote in them things. But then it come out that by all accounts that was from counselling. That she was told to do that by a counsellor, which then completely throws that out. And that was a big, strong thing. Like that was taken as a kind of a mission that she did it. That she wrote down. Yeah, I done it. Everyone hates me because I'm a murderer. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's such an interesting, um, horrific thing. A horrific, and that, again, that's probably a lot of the intrigue too. Is that it is such a horrific thing to kill babies. It's like, I don't think you can get any more evil than harming a baby. Literally is the lowest you can be. So it has that kind of grotesque thing to it. I guess that it's such a horrendous thing. But like I say, it's not just that. It's the details around it. It's because I've also seen police say that just because something is a lot of cases get won on circumstantial evidence. Saying something circumstantial evidence doesn't really mean nothing, because if you have a lot of circumstantial evidence, it can add up to being the person anyway. So yeah. But then, like Peter Hitchens said, you're going to put a woman away for longer than any woman ever off of something that is not, you're not 100% sure, and you haven't got hard evidence for it. But also, I can understand that, yeah, even if they get the fact that the bosses were looking the other way is not going to affect her trial or her case, because yeah, she's still guilty of it. She killed the babies. Is the fact that they looked the other way, it kind of, yeah, you they're not going to release Lucy Letby on the back of that. But this is kind of what I was saying in the first place. How is she the only one when there were so many concerns raised and everyone seemed to know? And where's all the people that let it happen and let it go on for so long? But yeah, this will be a interesting. This is an interesting development, and to see how this all plays out. Yeah. But yeah, let me know your thoughts.